When you have hair loss, it can be such a scary and deceivingly lonely place. But you know what? You're not alone. You are here with me. Welcome to the Alternative Hair Alchemist podcast. Hi, I'm Deborah Heim. I am a certified alternative hair specialist, a wig boutique owner, and wig wearer myself due to alopecia. And this is my Tell It Like It Is take on all things alternative hair. I also happen to be a certified confidence coach, so I'm going to be sprinkling in some mindset hacks for good measure. So take a deep breath, sit back and relax, and listen to my favorite ways and my best advice on how I help others and help myself to rock that alternative hair. We're going to drop that shame and stigma. What is that about anyway? Now, let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Alternative Hair Alchemist podcast. This is Deborah Heim, and this week I am going to do a 1-year anniversary edition of the 8 biggest advantage synthetics can offer you over human hair as far as a wig or topper. Now, I have said it before a number of times. Yes, you absolutely do want a good human hair wig if you're an alternative hair wearer. Yet, the biggest area of education that I have to do, and the biggest, I think, misconception people have is that synthetics 100% of the time are going to look worse than a human hair wig. And I can tell you that just simply isn't the truth. Now, I'm going to give you 8 advantages that I see and that I know of that make synthetic, and especially the synthetics nowadays, oh my gosh, even from 4 years ago, the technology is amazing. The synthetics coming in, I have hairdressers in my shop that can't tell the difference between some of the heat okay synthetics between the human hair. And I'll tell you, with lesser quality human hair, everybody worries about ethical sourcing in their food and things like that. And you don't know where a lot of the human hair on a wig is coming from. But we'll save that for another episode. But some of the synthetics coming in, I'm going to run down the advantages. The biggest one and number one is the affordability. These, even though your better heat okay synthetics are a little bit more expensive. In fact, sometimes I have people going, what? It costs that much and it's not human hair? But, the advancements in technology is what you're paying for. But for as good as they look, you are much better off cost effectively to just get a really good synthetic, because for the price of like 3, which would certainly get you through a year, you are going to pay less than like 1 really good human hair wig. And the other advantage of them being cost effective is that you can afford to have a little variety. So instead of one of the things I try and teach people coming in, a strategy or what have you, is to get yourself a straight wig in a style and a color and the same approximate length in a curly one so that it will look like you did your hair every day without having to actually do the work, which, if you know me, I say it all the time, I am not a talented hairstylist, so I like the ease a good synthetic offers because it's just ready to go. Now, I will say I do have a couple really good human hair wigs and I absolutely love them. So please do not mistake what I'm saying for the fact that synthetic is better every time. The thing I do like about human hair wigs is how it feels against your skin, especially for a longer length wig. It's truly worth it to have a good one. Advantage number 2, and I just mentioned this, the low maintenance. Synthetics are designed to have a style, for lack of a better word, like baked into it, so that if you get a nice beachy wave, if it's heat okay, you'll be able to change that style. But every time you wash the synthetic, the style should bounce back to the original condition. So the styling is going to be minimal, especially after washing. You just shake it and let it air dry. You may need to touch it up with a steamer if it's a regular synthetic, or a flat iron or curling iron. But still, if you've ever washed a human hair wig, believe me, it is quite the process. So the maintenance and time saved with synthetics is a big advantage. And as far as maintenance, this is something that I've learned along the way in my own alternative hair journey, and I try and educate people as well. As with wigs, the less you do to it, the better. Okay, I try and wash my wigs as infrequently as possible. My way of wearing it is to use water as a styling aid so that you don't have a lot of product buildup. And I discovered this along the way. The less you do to it, the more you can keep it like new with combing very gently, the longer it will last. The next big advantage of synthetics is color. Color alone in most of your human hair wigs is generally pretty blah, unless you're into like shades of brown or very dark brown. You almost always need someone to do some color work on it. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that learn to do it themselves, and if you are able to do it, hey, more power to you. But if I make a significant investment in a human hair wig, I am going to leave that type of thing to the pros, which, like I say, you get the right person to do it. Natalie of Strands and Fireflies Alternative Hair Salon does pure magic with alternative hair. But for the most part, your synthetic wig colors are just gorgeous. You've got like the multi-dimensional blondes with a little bit of a root. You've got your browns with the ombre and that type of thing. And in a synthetic, they are perfectly colored and ready to go. And the color isn't going to fade. So just on cost-effective basis, if you are getting a wig that has one of those multi-dimensional blondes, I know I've had friends of people that are coming in to get them with the person to give them their opinion on the wig that see the colors of some of the rooted blondes, and they are like, wow, I just paid my stylist X amount of dollars to do this hair color. So sometimes just wearing those colors that you love is an even more cost-effective way, and it saves wear and tear on your hair. So along those same lines, you can change your color in a synthetic wig just as easily. And I find that people will say for human hair, well, I want to get one because what if I want to dye it or whatever down the line? And while it is true you can color human hair wigs, you don't want to frequently because that hair isn't growing. So it's going to take a lot more care to take care of. So if you're getting a human hair wig because you think, oh, I can blow dry it, treat it like my own hair, color it, well, it's true, yes and no, but you can't treat a human hair wig as if it were the same as the hair that grows on your head. So from a care perspective, synthetic wins for me every time. The ease of the pre-styled synthetic on the hook, ready to go in the morning is another advantage. I comb my wig out the night before and it is ready to go the next day. Whereas when you have some human hair wigs, you can curl, flat iron, whatever, style them, but before you wear it again, you've got some touching up or what have you. Whereas with the synthetic, you can pretty much just pop it on and go. Which leads me to the next advantage. Synthetics are weather resistant. So whether you're running around in the rain, you get rained on, that synthetic is going to dry just as nice as when you left the house. Synthetics don't frizz in the humidity, which one of my first surprises with my good human hair wig. I was wearing it on a humid day and it frizzed up just like it was my own hair. So yes, indeed, sometimes getting a human hair wig is like having your own hair, but not always in the best ways. I'm telling you, the ease of the synthetics are the way to go. I remember back in the days when I was working with my own bio hair and it was thinning very much, I would spend hours either straightening it or doing what have you to make the texture consistent with the topper and the extensions I was wearing, only to have the weather ruin all the work that I put into it. So I remember being pleasantly surprised when I came into synthetics and would be outside, and they stayed just as nice all day long, no matter the conditions. Another advantage of synthetics is generally they are allergy friendly. Some individuals are sensitive to human hair or the products that are used in the processing. So therefore, for the most part, you're probably better off with a good synthetic. And at least if you start with a synthetic and you did have a problem, you paid a lot less than you probably would for a really good human hair wig. Now, this next advantage could be debatable depending on your personal view, but for the most part, I find synthetics to be quite a bit more durable than human hair wigs, especially if you like to use the heat tools, because the synthetics are less prone to the breakage and the drying that can happen with human hair wigs. And I don't think anybody thinks ahead of the time when they get a really good human hair wig. They get it thinking that they're going to be able to wash it, dry it, curl it every day like they did when they had a good head of human hair. But the fact is that isn't true. You need so much more extra care to take care of that human hair wig. And if you really think about it, and I ask this question all the time to clients, do you really want to spend time doing your hair? Do you really want to flat iron, curl it, or what have you? This was something I discovered along the way. I stopped and asked myself, wait a minute, how often do I really do that? And the ease, again, of a style ready to go in a synthetic, I can't say it enough times. It is really wonderful. Now, some people do like to do their hair all the time, and if that's the case, then have at it. So it's an individual thing whether you prefer the synthetic versus the human, but overall the advantages of being more cost effective, being more easy to wear, having better color selections coming right out of the box is why the synthetics will win my choice every time. So if you are one of the people that is still in the early stages of thinking about venturing into human hair, and anybody tells you that you need to get a human hair wig right away, tell them that maybe it's worth checking out coming to my shop, which is Very Best Little Hair House. You can find it at www.verybestlittlehairhouse.com. We do have some of the beauty schools come to our shop for education in alternative hair because it's really becoming a thing, and you do not need to have human hair to look realistic. I challenge anybody that thinks otherwise to come to my shop. Now, with that being said, don't let it stop you from getting your human hair wig as well, but don't hesitate to think that a synthetic can look good too. And the other advantage of starting with the synthetic is that you will learn general wig care, which can help you immensely extend the life of your wigs. The very first human hair wig that I bought, I spent $1,200, and this was some years ago. But nobody told me how to really take care of a wig, and I went home, treated it like my own hair, and within 3 months, the thing was like a Brillo pad. So learning how to take care of a wig first is kind of like a prerequisite to a human hair wig, if you will. And I don't know, I guess there's my thoughts. And if you have any comments, feedback, what have you, you can send me an email at www.deborahheim.com. Go in there and fill out the contact form or sign up for my email. Like I said, I'd just like to have some names. I don't even know how to send out automated emails, so there's no danger of you getting spammed, at least not at this point. And thank you for listening. Until next week, peace, love, and alternative hair. If you enjoyed this episode, you might like working with me one-on-one even better. You can check out the options at deborahheim.com. You can find my shop at verybestlittlehairhouse.com. And don't forget my Wise Wig Advice and Support group, also on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, peace, love, and alternative hair.